Click the link.
Can you start over for me? Go ahead.
Hi, can they hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you now.
Okay, great.
They should be able to hear you now.
Okay.
Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear. Put a 1
Yeah,
in the chat
we
if you
got
can
sound.
hear. Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead.
great. Okay. I'm Kat. I'm 23. My relationship status is undetermined. I go to Georgia State, so I'm a student.
Fuck you, nigga.
God.
I'm a student majoring in speech communication, minoring in econ, and that was it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I'm Mariah. I'm 23. I'm single, and I'm a house manager.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Akita. I'm 24. I'm single, and I'm a fitness influencer.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kaya. I'm 22. I'm a trainer and I'm single.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne, aka Quarantino the God, aka Black Gen Z Mindset, your favorite four-eyed freak. I am a real estate investor.
Wait, what? That's the first time you did that intro.
I'm making some new shit up, you know what I'm saying? I own a real estate company. I own a car rental company as well. I'm 27 and I'm in a relationship.
All right, we're gonna just get started off with a topic of what we was actually discussing a little bit earlier. Do y'all actually know what men want? And we can just start with this and then go this way. Well, matter of fact, I'm gonna let you go last, so we can start with this and come this way. Yeah. What do men want? What do men want? Let's talk.
What do I want from you?
What do you want from me? Okay. I feel like I can personally say I feel like sexually I know what a guy may want.
Okay.
But mentally I feel like it depends on the guy.
How so?
Because everyone is different.
Not really, but okay.
I mean, I feel like everybody wants somebody that
Talk
can
to the
help
microphone
them
for
grow.
me.
Oh, I'm sorry. They want somebody that's going to help them grow mentally. But other than that, I don't know.
Okay, what
I'll
are
be
some
honest.
traits or some qualities or some words that you can describe a woman that a man would want?
Okay, I'll probably say independent. Oh, what's wrong? Wait,
She got to get pressure off the rip. You really think men care about independent women?
Yes.
How so? We care about your money?
You want to pay for me? For everything?
For majority of stuff, majority of guys do.
I mean, you can pay for majority of my stuff, but like we were saying earlier, like, do you want to pay for everything for real? Everything.
Go ahead, because you was about to say something. I heard it.
Yeah. It's like women conflate independence with self-sufficiency. So like a lot of times they bring up this independence of I want to be independent, and we all know that they're saying, oh, I want to be independent from a man so that if I get in a relationship and he is like providing, that if all else fails, I can go and provide for myself. Yeah, I definitely get that train of thought, but that's not necessarily something that like men are just like, you know, attracted to. We're not aroused by, oh, you saying you're independent. As a matter of fact, like nowadays when girls come and lead with, oh, I'm independent, it's like, okay, you take care of yourself and you pay your bills, like you're doing the bare minimum. What's next? So,
but I mean, when I say independent, I mean somebody that's kind of like, you know, just like how you would claim that you would be a person that like is knowledgeable with certain trades. Mm-hmm. You would want somebody like, okay, if I lack in this, my woman can do this for me. So that's what I say more so with independence. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So not necessarily financial.
Not necessarily financial.
So like an independent variable that can be interdependent with whatever the man has going on.
Yes, like I don't know how to change my oil. You know how to change my oil? Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. You need to learn about finance. Okay. Oh, it just so happens that I'm really good with money. Let me help you out. Let's work on budgeting, stuff like that.
But would you really be with a guy who's not good with his money?
Talk heavy.
I mean, don't we have friends that aren't good with money?
You changing the goalpost. Stay on
Friends
topic.
is different from
You are.
sexual
Stay on topic.
relationship. An intimate relationship. Friends are different from an intimate relationship.
That's true, but I mean, to have a basis of a good relationship, you have to be a good friend. How can you say like, okay, I love somebody, I can do this, I can support my person, but I feel like the first practice of actually being a good girlfriend would start with being a good friend.
Okay, for you, right?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but
All right, we're moving on. Go ahead.
For me, I feel like men really want a woman that can be a valuable asset.
Okay.
I feel like men really want a woman that strokes their ego. And it's not, there's a line between being overly prideful and just prideful. I feel like men are very prideful. And a woman that can stroke that ego.
How so? Give me
just
examples.
Perfect. I feel like a lot of men want to be able to come home to a woman, like, even if they're having a bad day, that she just, even with her words, she don't have to touch him, she don't have to service him, none of that. Just her words making him feel like he's still that man at the end of the day.
Okay.
I feel like men really love that.
Okay.
If you can stroke his ego, you can get what you want.
Okay. So stroking
Forget being independent.
Okay. All right. Damn. Shots fired. Go ahead.
Sorry, that threw me off. I feel like, well, from my thought process, I kind of feel like they want someone who's able to highlight their weaknesses without making them feel bad for it. So kind of similar to your answer, honestly. Like someone who's able to add to the table without making them feel like, damn, I ain't shit. Like, I need to get myself together. Like she's gonna leave. You know, being able to advise them and talk to them in a way where it's like you can grow without feeling like the worst person in the world and feeling like you have no value.
Okay.
Kind of building off of a little bit off of what all of them, what they said. It's like they want someone who can help, like who's not like independent, but is building off of what he has. Like say he doesn't know how to fucking cook, she does. That can be something he could really like. Or if he doesn't know how to, say, honestly, just put it like they can just learning and just being with somebody. I don't know.
What do you mean? Hold on. Wait, what?
Hold on.
Wait, what?
I shouldn't have smoked before I did this.
I was like, wait, what?
I shouldn't have smoked before I did this. But when I like, they like a woman who can build with them. It's like when I say build with them, they want someone who they have their like weaknesses, someone who can help with their strengths can help their weaknesses in a sense. So it's like they're independent, but it can help like together. Like what he said, it's like,
you think women are helping men build?
Yeah, in a
like
sense.
dating potential.
Yeah, because the guy is like supposed to be the sturdy one in a sense. They are ones who are paying for the woman in a sense, like how you guys would say. And so the woman is like the additional benefits. Like she's supposed to be helping him out, not supposed to be like she's supposed to be like helping with what he's doing in a sense. But she's still supposed to be independent in a sense. Not supposed to be like fully depending on the guy, and like she's benefiting his life in a sense.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go back around this way. What is a high value woman? The eyes rolling. Let's go.
Okay, what's a high value woman?
What's a high value woman?
A woman who, for that guy, a high value woman is someone who is helping improve his life. That's someone like, whether it's emotionally and it's physically or like mentally, like she's helping him in one way or another. And in that sense, her value is going up, whether she's, and even if she's bad, like imagine she's a baddie, right? And then she is she's funny. You guys mesh like that. It builds her value and like. I think,
can she be high value if she's not attractive?
I mean, yeah. I mean, like if she's, I mean, too, that guy. If you're with her and like you two are meshing personality wise, and you like that person, like you don't want to like you like that person so much that you don't really want to not be with that person because you enjoy talking to that person and that person's, you know, you like that person's presence. Yeah. Even if you don't think they're attractive, like why are you there? But I'm like,
I mean, because that's probably the best they can do. That's why.
But I mean, like if that's the best you can do and you can't see yourself, like you like their presence, you like being with that person. I mean, that's kind of building a higher value in a sense, right? Than versus someone like you can't give.
You can go in now. You can go. Let's go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you know, and I don't want to taint you guys' answer on what a high value woman is, but the reality is, you can't be a high value woman unless you're accompanied by a high value man or a man of value or some type of status. Because at the end of the day, you know, a lot of women, they talk about independence, but what men are looking for is interdependence, meaning that we work together in order to build for a greater future. So, you know, when a woman is doing the strong and independent thing and like doing the solo thing and you know, whatever she's doing while she's single, getting ran through, going to the clubs, going out and doing all this extra stuff, that is diminishing her value. It's lowering her value over time. So the only real way to preserve that value is to be in a long-term relationship with that man, because your value to a man is, you know, your prior experience, your past, your chastity or whatnot, or lack thereof, or and accompanied by your beauty. So,
Okay.
and your compliance.
What's a high value woman?
The question is pertaining to what men think or my own answer?
No, what men think.
Oh dear.
That's a good.
Because again, you can't be high value by judging yourself.
Why not?
That's the definition of a value.
The standard, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, but he's asking about men.
The market.
Like how-
The market
controls
decides
the
your value,
Yeah.
just like it controls a man's value.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
demand for that individual woman or the demand for that man basically determines their value. And
Like a
for a
house.
woman, the demand has to be accompanied by, like, not just, oh, I want to fuck you, but, oh, I could see her as being my wife. I could see her as being somebody that I could spend the rest of my life with.
Okay, so my answer is pretty much an assumption, right? Because how do I know what they think?
Well, I would say
don't-
give your authentic answer of what you believe is a high value woman, and then we can kind of like bounce off of that and say, okay, well, you know,
So my
you're
own
right, you're
perspective
wrong.
then.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I think. Personally, I feel like a high value woman is somebody who has been able to become self-aware or is self-aware as far as what they need, what they feel, what they have going on with themselves. Because if they don't know what's going on with themselves and then they come to you, it can be just drama and problems, because it's almost like they want you to figure out what's wrong, but they don't know what's wrong. So now it's just a shit show at that point. So yeah, I feel like someone who knows themselves so that they can help you know them, and then you also are able to help them highlight or work on the things that they're trying to work through, their weaknesses. Because once again, if you don't know yourself, you're not even going to be able to be honest with yourself in the relationship to work on yourself.
Okay, so to summarize, it's more so helping to understand yourself before you can understand him and help him.
Yeah, like exactly, coming to him with the ability to be like, you know, coming with him to the ability to be like, you know, I'm having a rough day, or hey, I may be extra sensitive. Even if you say something right or wrong, I may respond incorrectly, and being able to say that, because even if you do respond like that, someone who loves you and cares about you, they may know, yes, it pissed me off, but I'm just gonna walk away rather than feeding into her right now, because she already warned me, and that's not a freedom to be an asshole to your man. But if he understands and you actually care about him, you're gonna try to work on it, and he's gonna try to understand.
Okay.
I do agree. I do believe that even trying to figure out what a high value woman is, that woman has to know herself. Because I don't associate a high value woman with a man. Like, I feel like you can be a high value woman by yourself. That's not even going into being independent, because I don't feel like if you don't know yourself, how can you even bring value to that man? You don't know the value of yourself first.
Well,
So you need to be able to articulate what it is to be a woman, what it is to bring out your femininity
Yeah.
before you can present that femininity to a man. Because I feel like a high value man is already going to recognize that you're a high value woman if you articulate that, if you show that.
it's not about articulation.
Yeah.
It's about your actions. I think that a lot of, especially in nowadays, a lot of women do have to be taught to be more feminine, because like I think like a lot of modern women have a masculine disposition. So like they're, you know, they have to go out and fight the world and go and work and all this stuff. And that kind of brings a different demeanor where they're coming into a relationship with a man thinking that they're quote unquote equals. And yeah, we're all equal under, you know, the eyes of the law or whatnot. But in the relationship dynamics, there is a hierarchy. So, you know, it's not really based off of, you know, what you're thinking about internally. Because a lot of times, like, a man is, you know, teaching these women how to be feminine, how to be a good girlfriend, how to be a good wife, because they typically don't come into the relationship with those type of qualities nowadays anyway. So you're kind of teaching them along the way of, okay, this is what you need to do to kind of keep me interested in this relationship. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. So I see men finding themselves trying to teach women how to be more feminine nowadays than not. So
Yeah. Anything to say about it?
I don't think a man can teach me how to be a woman.
Okay.
Just like I can't teach you how to be a man.
Well, I think, if you're dealing with the right type of guy and he is experienced, see, a lot of the time women do come into the relationship where they're like, I'm not doing wifely duties. We had a podcast a couple weeks ago where the woman was like, I'm not doing wifely duties until you wife me up. But the only way that you're going to get wifed up is if you show me that you can do wifely duties. So I think that a lot of women are going into dating with this counterintuitive mindset that they don't have to put in 100% until the man completely commits and puts a ring on it, which, is absolutely absurd. So in that sense, I definitely do think that men are teaching women how to be feminine, or at least telling them what he wants from her.
In a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. In the relationship. Not necessarily saying, okay, this is how you do your makeup, this how you cook, this how you clean, this how you, do, all these fucking sexual acts and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's like that, but it's more so of, okay, these are the things that I want. These are the things that men value in relationships. Do these things, because a lot of the times women will come into the relationship and they're thinking that what they're doing is something that men value, when in all actuality, like, we really don't give a fuck about certain things that y'all think that is valuable to a man in a relationship.
Question.
Yes.
You said that, so you were basically saying that, in your opinion, that's teaching femininity, but the things that you listed are not factors of being feminine. Those are actions you do, cooking, cleaning, like those weren't things of teaching a woman how to be feminine. That's not teaching someone how to be feminine. That's teaching someone how to manage or run a household.
Now, those are typically traditional roles that women played in order to be within their femininity. So
what else is, because you know about femininity, what else is features of femininity? Because the things that you listed, that's not it.
No, I mean, it definitely is.
No, it isn't.
Cooking and cleaning is definitely...
Cooking and cleaning is something that you have to do as a man prior to even getting a woman. So that's not something that's just like you. So when you go cook and clean, do you feel like that's you tapping into your feminine energy? Or do you feel like that's you taking care of yourself because you need to eat and you need to live in a clean space?
Well, no, definitely. Like nowadays, I think that a lot of the roles have been conflated. So men are now having to pick up the slack on what women are lacking and what women aren't bringing to the relationship. So yes,
I'm talking about prior to the relationship. When you go cook and clean before you even were in a relationship, let's say between the ages of 18 and 20, maybe you were single, maybe you weren't, but let's just say imagine you were, and you were living in an apartment or by yourself or whatever the case is. You needed to eat, right? And you needed to clean up your space. Did you feel like that was you tapping into your feminine energy every time you did that, or did you feel like that was you surviving on a day-to-day so that you can eventually go out into the world, get a job, get a woman, make a family?
Well,
did you feel like that was really you? Like, I feel really feminine washing this plate.
I don't think those things are prerequisites to getting a family or getting in a relationship with a woman. But yes, I mean, obviously being self-sustainable and being able to do these things are good qualities and good traits for a man and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like most of the time, I'm going to say, hey, okay, let me find a woman to do these things for me, so that I can make my life easier, so that I can focus on things that are really gonna help me prosper in life. So I'm not saying that, if a man cooks, if a man cleans, then he's tapping into his feminine. But I'm saying those are traditional roles that women usually upheld within a relationship that they're now foregoing. And therefore, as a man, you have to kind of bring them back to it and say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Don't put down the spatula. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put down the Windex because I need you for this, okay? So, and a lot of women are saying, I don't need no man. But men are saying, hey, we need you for this, we need you for that. But the women are coming in saying, I don't need you, and I'm not finna do the shit that you want me to do because I'm independent and I'm modern.
Anything about? Okay.
Well, no, so it's kind of funny. I had this conversation with my friend earlier, and we were talking about, he was asking me, do I want 50-50 or whatever? And I agree with what you're saying in the sense that, like, I don't disagree that I want a relationship where, because what you're explaining makes it sound like you're going to take care of the household and all she has to do is maintain the household. You're taking care of business outside so that she can take care of it inside, correct?
Yes.
And if that's what you have going on, that's fair, but I still don't think that counts as her being in her feminine energy. I feel like the feminine energy comes in where when you come home, she knows how, like you said, that stroking of the ego, that knowing how to talk to him. You are going to have good days and bad days. There's going to be times where the money is tight and it's all on you. And she's going to have to know how to take care of that, because as a woman, you can't now place value on your man based on how much money he brings in. Even if he is holding down the household, you're going to still have to talk to him a certain way and love on him a certain way so that he still has that confidence and that motivation and drive to keep the household running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying that cooking and cleaning is the total sum of femininity, but
I think my point is I just do not think it's included, but we can agree to
no,
disagree.
it
Obviously,
definitely is included. Like, I mean, that's not something. That's just like saying, oh, providing and protecting is not essential to a man being masculine, when in all actuality it is. A part of being nourishing, which is a feminine attribute, a part of being empathetic, which is a feminine attribute, is knowing that, hey, my man looks like he's having a tough day. He looks like he's hungry. Let me bring him lunch. Or, my man is down on his luck right now. Let me lift him up emotionally. Let me, whisper something in his ear and give him that motivation that you were speaking of. So I think I'm not saying that the total sum of femininity is cook and clean. Yeah. I'm saying that it's cooking, it's cleaning, which are physical acts of service, acts of kindness that you do for your man because you love him. But then it also encompasses that emotional stimulation that you were talking about, that uplifting his spirit, that I'm not going to say stroking his ego, but I'm going to say confirming his confidence. Ooh. You see what I'm saying? So all of these things are elements that are used by women to be in their femininity, along with keeping up with themselves and having, a feminine disposition, being submissive and being agreeable and being not being argumentative and all these different things, which I, from my observation, see that a lot of modern women are lacking.
Okay. No.
I have a question for him.
Okay.
My question for you, so I'm not trying to get in your business, but I'm really, really curious.
Oh, shit.
Do you feel like you had a good, what's it called? Like, not role model, but like example as far as your mother, as far as what you wanted to see, or like how you want to go about picking a woman in the world? Because I feel like some men, for example, the ones that I've dated, when I really analyze everything, one of the things that I feel like I have in common with them is like we kind of have some sticky situations pertaining to our mothers. And I feel like that's why they don't treat me a certain way, because maybe they never made the right connection with their mom to even have certain values or ideas. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I grew up in a nuclear household. I grew up in a two-parent household. So I saw the dynamic between my father and my mother. And, it was a healthy dynamic. They talked things out. She handled her role in the household, and he handled his masculine burden of performance. So I have seen that quote-unquote traditional archetype. So, essentially I am speaking from a certain experience, and I'm speaking from a point of confidence when I say that, hey, these are certain roles that can assist a man in elevating to another level. So like my experience is not coming from, broken household and, mama fussing at you all the damn time and saying you ain't shit. My experience comes from the mother supporting the father and the father laying down the law of the household, a traditional hierarchy with man, woman, and children. So
okay, hold on real quick. Got to move on. What's a high value woman? I mean, yeah, high value woman.
Damn, we're still on that topic.
Yeah, that was the original topic.
A high value woman. Didn't I answer?
No, I thought we went back this way and we stopped at you, and now we on you.
Okay. A high value woman.
Yes.
Is one, a woman that knows herself. I just feel like you have to know yourself.
Oh,
you do.
Okay.
how do you figure yourself
because
out?
through experience.
So
experience.
So you think guys value experience?
To an extent. Like, I don't think
wrong.
I don't think that is my
I
opinion.
told you they like them fresh out the womb.
Exactly. I don't think that you want a woman with too much experience, but you don't want a woman with no experience at all.
We rather have no experience at all.
Bro, if you Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. It's just so. I'm trying to tell you, most men would rather have wife up though. No experience at all. Now, if you're talking about like sex, etc., then of course we want an experienced woman. But if you're talking about wifing up, the less experience, the better.
Yeah, because men are more.
But what are those experiences outside of sex? Like
Dating, heartbreak,
Okay.
etc.
Yeah.
Going to places, going to different cars, being in Lambos, traveling, etc.
Right, like I don't want to have to come in and pick up the pieces of your broken relationships of the past.
Right,
like,
but that should be
but I'm
someone
also-
who's moved on from that past relationship.
yeah, but I mean, let's keep
Come on, let's keep it a bug.
Like,
How do y'all move on? No,
most of
tell
these
me.
women
It
are
takes
not moving
time.
on.
Time is what really heals all wounds. Like
really
whether
does.
it's someone who
Time
passes
and
or you
space.
break up, like time is what will really heal the wound.
I gotta
Like,
be the bad guy today. All
time
right, I'll be the
is
bad
not-
guy
Like that's
today.
like
I don't
when
care.
if you lose somebody,
Uh-huh.
only time. Like it's not something. It's like only time will really help. Like you can help, like talk to someone as much as you want, but only time is what will really like.
You know what's the saying about first love?
First love will make like I remember that they say that first love is like what makes a person or something in that sense.
A lot of times the saying is there's nothing like your first love. Why is that?
Nothing like it. I feel
Yeah.
like nah. I feel like there's something. It's like first love. Your first like love experience is what makes a person. How it ends, how it starts. It just makes the person. Like
Okay.
you learn from it.
Okay. Let me just break it down for you. If you get into relationships, the more relationship you get in, the more things that you know that you want and you don't want. Those in and of itself is you having masculine tendencies. Oh, I don't like it this way. I don't want to do it this way. I don't want that. I already been here. I did this, etc. Blah 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 blah. We don't want that shit.
why does it have to be
Masculine?
labeled as masculine?
Like what? Why
Because
is that
that's what
masculine?
Oh
Why
my
is
God.
that masculine?
Experience
Anything that's
doesn't have to be
about-
masculine.
It leads to that. Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
How?
It just makes a woman like know, like, hey, I don't
makes-
know, I don't like those traits. I'm not gonna be with you. I'm not gonna even like entertain it because I know I don't like those traits. It's like not masculine.
Okay,
Being
so
in-
if you was with a guy and you've been with multiple dudes, etc., and you was with a new guy, are you more likely to follow his path, or if you never had boyfriends before,
what do you mean follow his path?
follow what he wants, or what he likes you to dress like, or how he wants you to
No.
move, etc.,
Versus
See-
the guy from my past.
versus the guy that's your first love?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like aren't we getting to know each other? And if I see a red
That-
flag,
no, that's not the question.
No,
Stay on
like-
topic.
I missed the question.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm missing
so the question is, you got two guys. One guy you got when you was first, that was your first love. The second one was after your first love, maybe 2 or 3 times after. Which one is more likely for you to be your most feminine self?
the 1, 2, or 3 after because I'm still
No.
feminine regardless.
No, I mean you.
I'm
Cap,
still
where's my
feminine
cap, buddy?
regardless.
But the thing is,
Nah, you're thinking about naive. You're mistaken. Like
snap.
no,
women go
no.
Let's go.
Women, just like men, if they had a foul experience with the last guy, they're gonna go into that next experience guarded. So
That's for every person. I can say I was more naive my first time.
it's for every person, but I mean, the reality is men are more likely to give a woman the benefit of the doubt than a woman is to give a man the benefit of the doubt, because women will reject you for, petty things, menial things. That doesn't mean that you're a bad guy. It just means that she didn't like this certain thing about you, or she, had an ex who looked like this and she wants a guy who looks like this. So the thing is, when you're a guy and then you're dealing with a woman who's had, an extenuating past or whatnot, then she's going to come into that next relationship, a lot more guarded, a lot more defensive.
That's a woman who hasn't gotten over her past relationship. If she's gotten over it, she shouldn't.
No,
be guarded.
Which one?
Like,
Which one? Hold on. Let me just ask you a question. Which one is you more likely to be adventurous in? The first relationship you in, where you in
Every
love? No.
single one.
Which one are you more likely?
Because if I'm going to a
No,
relationship,
no.
I'm mentally ready to explore. Like if I'm going, like I don't just go in a relationship to get in a relationship. If I'm willing to get in one, that means I'm willing to open myself up
Okay.
and try it and explore it. Like
Okay.
every relationship I do.
Let's take you out of it. Let's put for most women.
I don't know most fucking women. I don't know.
You don't got friends?
I mean, no, I can't compare them. They would do the same thing.
Oh my God, I think that's cap. Same question. I actually want to ask the whole panel this. The question is, which one are you most likely to be adventurous with? Your first love, the first person that you fell in love with, etc., or the person down the line, 2 or 3 loves afterwards?
When you mean like sexually adventurous or like
It
doing
can be
fun
sexual.
stuff?
It can be
Honestly,
both.
I'd be
It
more
could be
cautious
both.
the first time. I'd be more cautious the first time.
You'd
And
be
then
more cautious the first time.
and then more adventurous the next time. If I'm
Okay.
being honest, from my own experience, I'd be more cautious the first time.
Okay.
I think I'm the other way around.
Most women
like,
are.
I like kind of from what you were saying, I'm the opposite pretty much. Like exactly what you said is how it was. And I was disagreeing at first, but as I started thinking, I'm like, bro, that's literally me. Yeah. Like I was way more like, oh my God, no, whatever. And now it's like, I'm gonna take you out. I'm like, boy, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yes.
he could be outside ready at 7 and I'm still like, you're full of shit. Like, I don't know. I'm just, there's been a lot that has happened. So, yeah.
A woman gives her first love all of her. She gives her first love everything. So every guy that comes after that is getting pieces of that woman, not the whole woman.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
because I got dogged out, it's like, do you really think I'm about to do something this ridiculous again? I'm not.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fool me
Same
once.
question. Yeah. Same question.
I would say I was definitely more open and adventurous with my first love
Thank you.
than I am now. But
Thank you.
But I do know that that's not a good thing, though. I feel
That's
like
not a good- maybe
I
not a good
feel
thing
like
for
you're-
you.
I feel like after the first heartbreak, you shouldn't, like, going into relationships, you should be able to figure out your vulnerability before going into the next relationship, because I don't think you should be holding back from the next person because of what the first person did.
I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Most women do hold back.
Don't know people. I feel like a lot of people build walls from after their first relationship, whether
No,
I don't think
it's
a lot of
women.
men. I don't think
No,
men
I don't
really.
think
It's just
hold back.
women. I don't.
Men definitely hold back, and they won't, and they'll hold back in different sectors. It doesn't have to be
Yeah, it's not the
emotionally.
same. Yeah.
It doesn't have to be physically. It doesn't have to be sexually. But men definitely
Yeah.
hold back, and then they don't. You don't figure out they're holding back until it's too late.
Got you.
I think
Okay.
a man is likely to hold back financially initially, to see what the woman is about, to see if she really likes him. Like, a lot of women are online getting mad about a guy asking them out on a coffee date. I think that that's holding back because he doesn't want to get finessed for a full meal. He doesn't want to get finessed for like a full course meal, like a fucking 5-star
And
hotel.
that sounds like he was in the past finesse, and I feel like
Well,
first love can even affect a dude as well.
It
Same with
could
a
be
woman.
that, or it could be that he's seeing all these chicks online saying, "Oh, I'm just on a foodie date."
So you telling me he didn't experience it, and he just going off of others?
Most guys aren't
A
having
lot of-
a lot of
I'm about to
experience
say,
with
yeah.
women. So like 1/3 of men between the ages of 18 and 31 are virgins or have not had sex in the past year. So a lot of their interactions with women on a romantic level are few and far between and sparse at best. So like when he does take that leap of faith and ask a woman out, he's gonna say, okay, how can I make sure that she actually likes me for me? And how do I do that? By low investment dates to see if we really click on a conversational level, on an intellectual level, on a compatibility level. But the reality is, when you ask for a woman out on these types of dates, not all, but a lot of them who are in it for maybe the wrong reasons will say, oh, I'm worth more than a coffee date. And it's not about determining your worth. It's about determining if you actually have real interest in that man. So that's why he's going to take you on a low investment date to see how high your interest is or lack thereof.
But real
I feel
quick,
like a coffee
rather
date is
go on a
fine.
coffee date.
I feel like a coffee date is just perfectly fine in public. For the first date is perfectly fine.
But you know,
okay,
most-
hold on real quick.
most
We got to
women
get to the
aren't
super
after
chats
that.
real quick. All right, super chats real quick. We got Carlton. Thank you for the super chat. Oh my God. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. He says, can Ashanti in leather pants all the way on the far right give us a 360 spin? What
Not
the
Ashanti.
fuck? Not Ashanti. What the fuck?
Funny.
That boy got his cape on. All right, moving on. Amy sends a super chat. Thank you for the super chat. He says, does it make sense when dating or attracting a mate to say, I'm not in need of you. I'm
No,
independent.
Don't do that. I wouldn't like that if I was a guy. Don't do that.
Talk that shit. All right, Ricky sends a super chat. Thank you, that boy. He says, reclaim your throne 2024.
You already know.
You already
Campaign
know,
starting.
Let's get it. Diego sends a super chat. He says, do the ladies care about a high value? Body count of a man. Okay.
No, we don't.
I'm not gonna ask like on the what like I mean I don't
To be that nosy about someone's sex life before they knew you is weird.
like
On
Wait,
the men's
what?
side and the women's.
Are you clean?
Oh my God.
Are they
Oh,
clean?
no, we gotta get to that. We gotta get to the meat. We gotta get to the topic. So I don't even want to address what the fuck she just said, because that's so
If they're
goddamn.
clean or if they're not clean is the main
No,
concern.
no,
I'm not about to be sitting up here asking you.
no. I'm telling you straight up, no.
I don't.
You
about
don't,
body
but men
count.
do.
Men care.
Men care.
Congratulations,
Men care.
God,
There
Congratulations,
are women
man.
that care.
I don't.
I care.
I don't even know.
Does a
I'm-
high value man's body count matter?
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
I mean, like, are we in 3 digits? Like, I'm not gonna ask, but like, if he just says, "Hey, my body counts,"
Hold on, I gotta finish the super
digits.
chats. I gotta finish the super
Okay.
chats. Carlton sends another super chat. Thank you. Says, "Done. Always a great show as always. I'm here in Atlanta as well. Let's do lunch soon." Shit, man, we might make that happen. Hit me up on Instagram. Let's see who else. I want to make sure I got Villain because he be saying I skip his super chats. All right, Carlton again. Thank you, that boy. He says, "I feel like 70 times tonight.
You have.
75 times tonight."
probably.
You have.
All right. Villains in the building. He says donating to Dose late night. Oh my God. Fuck you, nigga. Late night. Late
He's
Gizzy
the
fun.
Glizzy Goblin.
Shut the fuck up.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed.
Thank you for that super chat, but fuck you. All right. Moving on. Carrying on. All right. So the transition question that I had is going back this way since we went that way. Do you think high value women for men are in the United States?
Yes.
You think it's more high value women in the United States or outside?
It depends on the person. They're everywhere.
You think?
Wherever women are, there's a high value woman.
Okay, so you think that there's more traditional women here in the United States than it is in other countries like Colombia, etc.?
No, you're getting
No.
a foreign. She's foreign. It's a different place. It's a whole. You're
That's
going
not the
in-
question. Stay on topic.
No.
Do you think more traditional women are in other places
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
other than the United States?
Yeah.
Why?
Because of how our
We have so many cultures coming in here that we're in the mix of making a whole new culture versus other places. They've had their traditional cultures for centuries. So they are in a sense more traditional versus America. It's changing every day. Things are changing it's changing so much that we're now modern. Like we can't traditional is
So
here
that
is
just
seen
went
as
against
bad.
what you just said. So that means we are more modern in the United States than other places, correct?
I don't think we're modern here.
I
but
said more modern.
Oh yeah, more modern. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure here.
I want to know your ladies' thoughts as well.
Okay, so I was gonna say basically like it's probably more traditional in other countries because my grandmother, like everybody on my mom's side is from Jamaica, okay? So like my grandma, she has a traditional,
Wagwan.
man. The man does this, the woman does this. I take care of this, I take care of this. I support my man. I
Okay.
cook, I clean.
Yeah.
That's all. She's like, yes, as a woman, as a high value woman, that's what you need to do.
Okay.
In the U.S., that's not what it's given.
Thank you. Okay.
That's not what it's given.
Okay. So
In the
if you was a man, would you place your bet in finding a woman in the United States or somewhere else?
You gotta deal. You gotta remember they have their other
Silence.
stuff as well. Like
What?
I don't know. You gotta take the good and the bad, right? Like she might be traditional, but she might be lacking in something else because
Like
she's
what?
not from America. I don't know. I can't give.
Give me an
specifics.
example.
So people not from America
Okay,
are
so talk
lacking
about
something?
language barrier. That could be a
Well,
potential.
why she need to speak?
You can learn the
You
language.
can, yeah,
joking.
you can learn communication.
You know.
You
okay.
can't learn communication, by the way.
And let's say,
Aren't you a comm major? So
yeah, but I'm high.
Well,
Shut
yeah.
up.
I'm just saying there's different forms of communication. So like,
I'm just saying, like, I can't speak from experience. I'm just saying, like, you were going somewhere else that isn't America, so you're gonna take it. You're gonna get some like, yes, they're traditional, but you're gonna get. They're not American. They have their own traditions that you have to adjust to as well. Like you have to give and take. Like you were.
But a lot of
mentioned two
those
the
traditions benefit men.
Not all of them though. Like I'm not gonna highlight anybody's because I'm not gonna try to talk about someone's
Right.
cultures and stuff because I don't remember the specifics. But I have met a lot of friends and stuff, and they've spoke about the backgrounds that they have and like the power, if you will, that their moms hold in the household. And I was like kind of shook. I'm like, wait, what? Your dad has to do what for your mom? Your dad has to answer to this? Like, you're not allowed to speak on that. Like, it was just weird to me, but. To say that all the other foreign countries have things that benefit the men directly in the culture, that's not always true.
Do you know
Some
what-
do,
Give me
but not
give
all.
me some
I'm not
examples.
going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I already
Okay.
said I'm not doing that. So we're not going there.
Okay.
But
It depends
do
on the
your
culture
research
for
if you
sure.
care that much. Do
Is this
that.
Africa? Is this,
Like, okay, I
can you
don't
give us a
know
continent?
specifically. Like maybe I can't say specifically, but I know like I met one of my old friends. They were Mexican family, but the woman, she was the dominant head of that family. Like, yes, her husband was there, but even though she was cooking, she did some cleaning. She was the head, and that's like I
Was she
can't.
the breadwinner?
It was Hispanic as
No.
well. I'm not going to go into specifics, but it was Hispanic culture as well. Like how she was saying, the mom it was up to her. She was like, literally, it came down to the point where if her man did not ask if he can go somewhere or do something,
and they would keep.
I think that's the minority. We're playing semantics right now.
You guys are always going to say it's semantics when it doesn't benefit you or agree with you.
No, because do you really think? No, hold on. Do you really think? Do you really think that the majority of the people?
I'm not saying the majority. We were just saying because you said most and all these things.
I said most, right? Yes, that's the majority.
We're going to go ahead and talk about and highlight that what you're saying is not always going to be 100%, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you're right in some ways, and in some ways you're wrong.
No, I haven't said nothing that was wrong today.
Most Hispanic cultures are patriarchal societies.
We're getting off topic. The thing I was saying was there are examples of if you get there are countries that are more traditional, but if you are gonna get some of their cultures that might not mesh to benefit the man per se. That's all I was saying.
I got you, but what is?
I don't know their cultures.
Okay then. All right, moving on. And then you was about to say something. Go ahead.
I can speak about outside countries being more traditional, being that I am Jamaican, born in Jamaica. And I come from stop it. I come from a very traditional household.
Yeah.
My dad took care of everything outside of the household, took care financially in the household. My mom runs the house.
Okay.
My mom makes the house. Can you find traditional women in America? You can, but I also feel like it's a better chance if she is foreign.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep
because I would assume in that household, I know in my household alone, I've been here since I was 13. I know that I still have the same traditions that I grew up with and that I'm going to take into my relationship.
Gotcha.
If you didn't have that from the jump, it's hard to develop that going forward, and you're definitely not going to take
and
that.
Make sure the microphone's in it. Yeah. There you go.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Okay, you're definitely not going to be. It's going to be harder for you to take that into your own household.
Okay.
And just traditionally, foreign countries, their tradition is different from American tradition. Even though America is a melting pot in itself.
Yeah.
The traditions that have been passed down are slowly going away.
Yeah.
So, and if that culture is not kept up in that household, it's very hard for you to.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with that.
She said exactly what
I agree with that.
I would say that
Exactly
the femininity is mostly determined, obviously off of cultural influences, but mainly off of economic influences. So when you see these second world, third world countries, they're more in their traditional mindset. They're more in a traditional culture because of the economic situation. So, when you come to America, there's opportunities for all, and women can.
That's what it's posed as.
Well, yeah, but the women can do the same jobs as men, but a lot of times they just don't choose to. So I think that, when you look at certain traditional societies and whatnot, a lot of it is reflective of the economic state of the country.
I was going to say, even like a lot of small things, like when I was growing up, my grandma if we're going to make food, the man should have the biggest plate and they get their plate first. It's certain stuff like if I go to one of my friends' house, I'm like, did the guy eat yet? Did the man eat? And I'm like, oh no, everybody's coming and making their own plate. I'm like, this and then weird. Not trying to be rude, but as someone who's American, we're like, you're a pick me, and that's not true. That's your tradition. That's how you were raised. That's literally your culture in a sense. But because everybody's so different, if you didn't explain that, I'm like when you said that, I'm like, what? Why does he get fed first? Obviously, if he's the biggest person in the room, cool. But if he's not, he doesn't need the biggest piece. But that makes you kind of opened up my brain to a whole new perspective. That's not how our household was ran. It was obviously my mom. I don't know. It was this weird thing where there was times where it's my stepdad should eat first if he was home, or she would put food away for him first before calling us to eat. But it wasn't something that was taught. It was kind of in private, if you will.
Well,
okay, hold on real quick, because I got to get to the meat of this. No homo. Real quick. So do y'all know what passport bros is?
No.
All right, so passport bros is this movement of men, right, from America going to other countries and then finding women that are more traditional, more, you see it? Less modern, basically. All right, so y'all, that makes sense? All right, so the question of the day is, let's see, Are men simps for being passport bros?
No. I mean, they're going after what they want.
Yeah, they're
They're not
satisfying
going to find it
themselves.
with me, so I'm not mad at it.
Oh my
Like
god.
a simp is like when you think of a simp, it's someone who's satisfying someone else versus, it's like when I think of a simp, like like an online simp, they're like putting all their money into a girl versus
Gotcha.
like taking care of themselves. That's a simp versus someone taking care of themselves. Like they know they know what they want. They're getting what they
found
want to
their high
satisfy
value
themselves.
woman.
That's not a simp. If you're satisfying yourself, you're just satisfying yourself. It's not simp to satisfy yourself. If you're you can't be. Everyone calls a simp to anything. Like you can't satisfy yourself. You can't satisfy your girl. You can't do shit to be a simp. Like
So you have no thoughts or feelings of guys going to other countries and finding women that are more traditional,
how is it
etc.
affecting me?
Like less dudes.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know.
They're satisfying
Less viable
themselves.
men.
Yeah.
But they weren't looking for me anyway. So what's the?
Well,
They're getting what they
they
wanted.
They
were, but
would have
you
if
were
you
too
had more
masculine.
traditional traits.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like,
If they're going somewhere else, they know what they want.
Again, like we said,
He's
there
getting what he
are
wants.
high value women that are in the U.S., but you went outside the U.S. to go find somebody. So that means
Like,
you
look,
didn't want
the
want
swimming,
somebody
the
that was
pond is bigger.
an
That's all I
American.
can
You
say.
wanted somebody
No,
that
hold
was
on.
foreign.
No, not necessarily. She's just actually explained it. The pond is bigger, so the chance of you finding that high value woman is much higher in other places.
but
No.
you guys are also using high value interchangeably with traditional. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with traditional for me
All
personally.
like when I say the pond is bigger, like that's for men and women. Like the pond used to be like whatever continent you're in. Now you have the whole world to find who
Yeah,
like your
but-
ever mate, whatever that is. Like you
Yeah.
have the option of choosing if you want a traditional or
A
non-traditional,
woman
modern or
traveling-
non-modern. Like you can choose man or woman. You have that freedom. You're not a simp to choose that freedom.
But a woman traveling, it doesn't hit.
She's not a pick me or what? Not a pick me. What was it? What's it?
What?
Name?
What?
It called? What do you call it?
Simps?
Passport?
No,
Passport?
no.
Oh, passport bros?
Passport bro.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, like
a
is-
woman traveling,
She's
it
more than a
doesn't-
passport
it
hoe.
doesn't- Yeah, it doesn't
The fuck?
hit. It doesn't hit the same because the thing is when a woman goes and travels to these
doesn't
other
hit the
countries,
same,
it doesn't
whatever.
because like you're gonna have to
Getting
settle.
sassy.
You're gonna have to make us an agreement. If you're looking for love, if you're looking for a man, you're gonna have to settle. Most likely, it's gonna be financially because those men are not as well off as the men out in the States. So, but a man doesn't care about finances, so I don't give a fuck if, I found a bitch in the shack as long as she's bad and she's willing to
Loyal and
work
feminine.
on my program.
Yeah.
So, like, when a woman travels, it's different because most of the time the women are, traveling, and having experiences and whatnot and finding themselves in these other countries, but they're not really getting commitment from the guys, not necessarily because those guys don't want them, but it's just because those guys don't necessarily meet their standard. That they may meet a physical standard, but they're not going to meet that. They're not going to meet that financial
I'm gonna
standard.
speak from experience. I'm not gonna say who, but I know somebody who was an American. She was American and she found love out of the States. Like it just was what it does.
What do you know? What continent she went to?
It was in Africa, but I don't know where in Africa.
Okay. Thoughts? You saying something.
I forgot.
I was just
Oh,
gonna
okay.
say she's probably in a polygynous relationship.
I can't. She's not. But she's not in there engaged. So
Oh, she's engaged
yeah. So
in Africa, like to an African man.
yep.
Is she over there?
Yep. Right now.
I'm telling you right now, she's gonna be in a polygynous relationship within the next 6 months.
You act like you know, but you don't. You're speaking
Well,
like
I
as
mean,
if you're
I
in
know
their
African
relationship.
men. I know African men, so.
Yeah, but individualism
Oh, it's
exists.
about to get sassy
so.
in here.
Well, yeah, it does. But at the end of the day, like if she went over there to meet an African man, I guarantee he's gonna run that play.
Well, individualism exists, and we can call
Is
him.
he a high earner?
I don't ask people's bank. That's not my business.
Well, I mean, you don't have to ask
That's
his
not
bank
my
account to know if he's
business.
a high
Like,
earner.
that's not my business.
Carrying on. Your turn. So, what are your thoughts on passport bros?
Again, being foreign,
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
Not at all.
Not at all. If
Okay.
you feel like your woman is overseas, go find your woman overseas.
Okay.
Because if I feel like my man is overseas, I'm going overseas.
Okay. Same thing.
Oh, no, I think it's fine. Like, do what you have to do. If you, like how she said, if you know that what you like is somewhere else, then be there.
Okay. Same question.
Yeah, it's fine. Do it. Like the pond is bigger. Find what makes you happy.
Okay. So you ladies have no contingency with, I guess, the competition of foreign women
I don't
taking
know
your
the
men or
competition with
etc.
Foreign dude.
But I don't feel like I'm in
Like-
competition with
So it's
them
different.
because
Yeah, it's not competition.
it's
Yes,
like,
you are.
Okay, well, this
There
is
are
my
way
thing.
more
This is
men
my
in the
thing, and
world.
no disrespect
You said there's
to
more men?
anybody,
Excuse me, there
but
are way more women in the world than men.
Oh, okay, I'm
Y'all
about to say.
don't realize,
I was about to
like,
say.
I was born an only child. I'm okay dying alone.
Oh my god. Well, go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. Go
I
ahead.
just don't think that the same guys who are looking for a traditional woman were already looking for me. So it doesn't seem like them going to find someone somewhere else is taking away from me. The guys who want me are still going to be here, and the guys who don't are going to get their passports and go find their foreign women that they want who's traditional.
What if I told you that a lot of the passport bros are young black men within your age range?
That wouldn't bother me. I don't date young black men in my age range. I date guys that are older than me.
What if
And I don't
told
only date black. I date anybody. What'd you say?
you say you date anybody?
Yeah, like I don't only date black men.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Her pond is just as big as theirs.
Like
No,
I
it's
said, it
not.
doesn't hit the same because you know, a guy is going to determine if he's gonna make you his in-game woman based off of your past, essentially. So, like, if you're a you know passport chick or whatever, and you're
Passport
traveling to different countries and you know having
She gotta be a hoe.
Yeah.
Because more than likely she's having sex.
having
What if all
experiences.
her? Okay, let's say
So
this.
the bros
What
are
if
having sex
all
too?
you?
Yeah, but you're not a hoe if you have sex.
What if there's a girl and all of her
just promiscuous.
relationships were with people with other countries? Her relationships,
on,
not
let her
like
finish, I'm gonna get
fucking. Like, what if there's a girl and she's not just fucking these guys, but her relationship, all her past relationships have been with people in other countries. She can afford it. Is that a passport chick?
I mean, if she has a passport and she's traveling, then yes, she is a passport chick. If
Yeah.
she's been in long-term relationships with these guys, I would, you know, it would beg the question. Like, if I was on a date with her, I would say, hey, why didn't your last relationship work out? So if you're dating different men from different countries and all of these relationships aren't working out, then I'm gonna have to look at you and say, hey, you're the common denominator.
Sex.
That's like with any what? That's like with any past relationship they've been in. Like they broke up for whatever reason. Like if you had exes, it's not like just because you were with those exes don't mean you were the common denominator. You might have broke up for whatever reason in those past relationships. Doesn't mean you're the common denominator in those relationships.
I mean, if you can articulate and determine the cause of the failure of the relationship, especially as a guy, like say, hey,
hypothetically speaking, just saying if she was in past relationships,
Mm-hmm.
hypothetically with foreigners, people who were out of the country, is that a passport chick versus a guy who's being with other women, just fucking these women apparently, is that really the same?
well, I mean, if she has a passport, she's a passport chick.
Yeah.
You know, just like if you're a guy and you got a passport, you're a passport bro. And as long as you're, you know, using that passport, then you qualify as a passport chick, passport bro. But
I would call her
my
passport
thing-
hoe.
right, but
All these stamps.
My
we
thing
need to
is,
get
though-
to that. I really want to get to that
Right.
because
My thing
just
is though,
like,
if
whatever.
you're a woman and you can't make these relationships work and you're dating men from different countries, then there's definitely an issue there.
Whatever, dude or woman, be whatever. Just travel. Do
Wait,
what you
so is
want.
it the same for the
It's not
guys?
that serious. Dude or
What do you
woman,
mean it's not that serious? What do you mean?
Dude or woman, if you want to travel to date, do it. Fuck what these guys say.
No, I'm saying
I'm not telling you what to do.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying,
What the
like,
It's
fuck?
just not
It's
gonna
not
hit
a
the same.
passport, but
It's not gonna get you a husband.
you.
No, it really isn't gonna get you a husband because the guy ultimately has to determine if he's gonna wife you up.
Have you seen women proposing? I've been seeing that a lot more.
Yeah.
You like to bring up a lot of the minorities.
I
You like to
hate
bring a lot of
it.
minorities. You like to
Just
bring up
saying.
the minorities.
If
Just
a
saying,
woman
it's
is
not
pushed to the
impossible. It's
point,
not impossible.
if a woman's pushed to the point where she's proposing, then that's a sign of desperation.
Just saying, it's not possible. It's not impossible.
But it's a sign of desperation.
Yeah, sure,
and
but it's not
It's
impossible.
It would not-
embarrassing.
I'm not saying it's not bad looking. I'm not saying it's not desperate, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible. It
not
is in the
impossible.
realm of possibilities.
Thank you.
But the reality is, most of the time, if the woman is the one who actually proposes, I guarantee that relationship is not going to work.
Yes. What are you talking about?
I 100% agree.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
All right, go ahead.
I can't say.
Okay, ask the question.
No, you're talking to the microphone. Talking to the
Okay,
microphone.
ask the question again.
No, it wasn't a question. You said
Okay.
you said something about passport bros, and I was like passport
Okay,
hoes.
yes.
Yeah.
So why does the woman have to be the passport hoe? Why?
And then put the microphone in,
Why
So I can
can't
make
we
sure
all
you-
be passport
How
hoes?
did-
so I can make sure you get this work. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you good. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I'm not understanding the term passport hoe.
Because the way I look at it is,
why is the female the passport hoe and not the male?
Well, men and women, right? So I don't call men hoes, right? Because you
Why?
can't. You just promiscuous. You're not a hoe.
Dudes are sluts.
Women can
No,
be
they are.
promiscuous.
No.
Dudes are
No.
sluts. That's
Hoe
what
has a hoe.
Dudes are fucking
Hoe
has a
sluts.
meaning.
Yes, hoe.
Men can be hoes.
Dudes are
No.
nasty
No.
sluts.
Yes,
No.
they can.
The definition of a hoe
We
is
getting
a
off topic,
prostitute.
but we can
the
go there.
definition of a prostitute is a woman who sells her body for sex. So a man
There are
cannot
male
be,
prostitutes.
There are male prostitutes.
There's
No,
a
that's
literal.
called a gigolo.
Look in the
That's called a
definition.
gigolo.
You can literally find
That's called a gigolo.
It's in
Let's
the
get sassy
dictionary.
with it.
It's a
Let's go.
word.
The definition of a male prostitute is a gigolo.
I feel like a gigolo isn't that a black guy with a bunch of white women or something?
No. That's,
I heard that.
That's
That's
an
a gigolo,
interracial
but
dating.
there's
No,
a-
a gigolo is a man who is selling his body for money. That's what
That's
a gigolo
essentially
is.
a black man,
But that's
though.
essentially
No, a
a
gigolo
hoe.
is not it's not unique to a race. A gigolo is a man.
swear I thought
it's
it
unique
was.
to gender. And
Hoe
prostitute
should not
is
be
unique
associated with gender. A hoe
I don't
is
think
a
it
hoe.
should.
No.
I don't think it should either.
It is
You can't-
100%.
You
If you
can't
are
change the
selling your
definition of a
body-
word. You can't change the
But if you are
definition of a
selling,
word.
if you are selling your body for money, you are a hoe.
Prostitute.
No.
Whether
I don't
you
even-
are
I'm gonna be
male or
honest.
female.
Or
That
what is
he
it?
got
No,
a different
it's sex
perspective from
worker.
this.
No,
My
is
perspective, hold
it?
on real quick. My perspective is different. Mine is hoe has a negative connotation, right? Something that is respected is something that's hard to do is respected. Something that's easy to do is not. So by you having sex with a lot of men, it's not respected because it's easy. If I or any men have sex with a lot of women, it's respected because it's hard to do.
It's respected in the male community.
But then
No.
you
It's
guys turn around and
respected
call
by
the woman
women, too.
easy
It's
when you
respected
get
by
the
women,
sex from
too.
her. So is it
It's
really hard to
respected.
It's
do?
respected by women too.
giving dirty dick.
No,
Like,
it's respected by women.
It's giving. Oh my god.
no.
I don't want a man that sleeps around.
You don't have a celebrity crush?
We just said we didn't care.
I
about
would
body
never
count.
fuck them though.
Yeah.
I would not
Bruh.
fuck them. No, I
She
couldn't.
said she does though.
Bruh.
No, they were like, no.
Okay, so
So you have a celebrity crush, and I guarantee your celebrity crush is banging hella chicks right now, and you respect him
They're
for
sluts.
it, not necessarily because he's banging hella chicks, but because he's desirable, because he's attractive. So for women, it doesn't matter a man's past. You see what I'm saying? Before a man, a woman's past matters. It is a double standard for sure, but that is one of the only double standards that don't benefit women. The rest of the double standards 100%
Pretty much benefits y'all.
women. So the only double standard that doesn't benefit women is the double standard that women hate the most.
you was about to say something. Go ahead. No, you was about to say something. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Don't hold your tongue down, boo boo.
I just don't think that the term hoe can only be associated with women.
I call dudes
I don't
sluts.
think that.
You
Y'all are.
call dudes sluts too.
Yeah, like celebrity males. Oh yeah, they're the biggest sluts. Oh yeah.
Hoe has a negative connotation. I just explained it. It's the same shit. So when you are when you have sex with a multitude of women, it's respected because it's hard to do.
I understand the double standard.
Yeah.
And I recognize that the double standard exists.
Gotcha.
I don't believe it should exist for only women.
It exists because of women.
Because yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
But we're trying to negate it now.
No,
That's
they're
what
not.
we're
And
trying
as a
to
matter
do.
of fact, the double standard is only getting stronger because women are being more selective with the guys that they sleep with, so they're sleeping with a smaller percentage of men. So the double standard is only getting stronger because they're sleeping with the guys who are already getting laid. How about y'all go to that 33% of men who aren't getting laid and haven't had sex within a year? Y'all won't because they don't match your standards, whether it be physical, financial,
It's
height,
not
whatever.
necessarily that. When they don't have an interaction with a woman in so long, it's like you don't even know how to be romantic for real. You don't know how to do
Yeah,
basic
like-
stuff.
So no.
It's like,
So you
how can
value
I-
dudes that been with women.
No, there's a point that
I
some
value
guys
somebody
who
that has
haven't
some
been with
type-
women, they don't know how to communicate with women, and that's the first steps. Like,
But you have to have hold on. No, hold on. But you have to have experiences to be able to do that.
You can
Right.
just talk to a woman without having to sleep with a woman. Like, there's just some guys like,
But-
let's
She
be
moving the
honest.
goalposts.
Yeah, but
There's
She moving the
just
goalposts.
some-
But as
She
a
moving the
guy,
goalposts right now.
As a guy, if I go, because we said men are intentional, men, are direct. So as a guy, if I go to a woman and I'm intentional about my reasons for talking to her, and I don't get anything out of it, I feel like it's a fucking waste of time.
Yes.
So after
Because
time
it
after
is.
time after time, you just get to the point of diminishing returns where you're just like, fuck it in general. So like,
I feel like then that brings them running. I'm not gonna get off topic. But yeah, that sounds like your first like affects how it like the rest.
no,
of it.
because these aren't even relationships. These aren't even like I ain't even smelt the
They
pussy
just-
yet.
But like,
Yeah,
it
no,
affects
I'm
your-
just
it affects
saying
your
you smell the
interactions.
pussy.
I'm just
It's
talking to
affecting your
you.
interactions though. Like your interactions with women, just meeting them, is affected by your previous. I don't think that's a good thing.
It's definitely affected. No, but that's life. That's a reality. You're affected by your experience. So as a guy, if you're out here and you're trying the dating thing and you're going out and you're approaching and whatnot, and you're talking to these women and say, they're dragging you along because you're not their ideal type. Meanwhile, we all know that they're sexually active with some other guy while they're still dragging you along. As a guy, you're going to catch on to that. And it's like, and then at that point, you're like, damn, I invested all this time. I invested all this energy. It feels like a waste of time. Just like a woman would feel like, if she slept with a guy and didn't get anything returned, like she slept with a guy and he immediately blocked her, didn't call her, she'd feel like shit afterwards because she'd feel like, she didn't get anything out of the situation and she felt like it was a waste of time and she regrets giving her body up. Yeah. It's the same for a man. I regret going and approaching her and buying that drink and trying to make it seem, and trying to convince her that how much I like her and trying to court her and do all this romantic shit. I regret doing that because I didn't get anything out of it. So after time of doing that, not saying this is my experience, but for the guys who aren't sexually active and who haven't gotten laid, they are doing this and then they're not getting the results that they want back. So after a while,
it's him then,
it could be, but it's also because the standards have risen. Whereas like 15, 20 years ago, that man would have been fine. He would have already been married. You know what I'm saying? He would have already had the white picket fence.
Yeah, but housing was like 50 cents.
If the standards have risen, then do you think that the standards have risen and the value went down?
What?
Do you think that the standards have risen and the values have gone down? Because it's contradicting something you said earlier. So if
when you say values, be specific.
You were about to respond.
Oh yeah. So when I talk about a woman's standards rising, I'm talking about their financial standards and most specifically their physical standards. Because in my opinion, I think looks is the most important thing when it comes to dating from a woman's perspective. She's gonna weed you out based off of the way that you look up front, and then that's when the personality and all the other shit comes off. But that's why all the fuck boys are getting so much pussy, is because they look good to the woman. And then after she fucks him and then he doesn't do what she wants him to do, then he becomes the fuck boy, because now it's like he's not doing what I want him to do. So now he's a fuck boy, but you already fucked the boy.
Go ahead.
Nothing. I'm not. I don't want to start up no extra trouble.
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
You can ask whatever you want. I'm
exactly.
I think you're right though about the fuckboy thing. I think you're right.
Yeah,
my question was more so pitched that because basically you said that the standards have gone up, but we basically been arguing that the value of women is low right now. So that's why I was asking if the standards have gone up. Like, how does that interact? You explained it, so it makes sense now.
So the woman's standard for what she wants in a man has gone up. But she has, as a matter of fact, the value of, well, I'm not going to say the ultimate value, but her own internal value as far as what she's presenting to the man has gone down. So the woman has higher standards, but she's willing to do less for the man that she actually wants.
I feel like it goes both ways, to be honest. I think that men and women have done the same things to each other. And I think men won't see it because they don't want to, and women won't see it because they don't want to. Like how you just said, she wants more from a man but gives less to a man. I feel like all of us are like, if he doesn't come with this, I'm not going to do that. And the men are doing the same thing. So we're all waiting for each other to do something that we want to keep each other.
That's because you're fucking with a small percentage of the men. So it's more incumbent on the woman to choose the right man.
See, and this is the argument that always kills me. I'm responsible for what someone else does to me. Directly, obviously after multiple things happening, that makes sense. Where it's okay, how many times are you gonna let this person do it to you? But if I don't know that someone's lying to me and giving me a story of them that's not true, and I have to experience them for a couple of months or whatever to be like, wait a minute, this pattern is showing itself. That's on me.
Yeah, you have to take accountability for the choices that you make in life. And
y'all are hilarious.
No, that's the reality, because if the same thing happened to a man where you dealt with a woman, you married her after a year and a half and something like that, and then she, divorce grapes you on the back end, then everybody's going to say, oh, well, you shouldn't have married her. Where are you finding these women? So it's the same thing. The woman has to take accountability for the man that she's dealing with, and vice versa. The man has to take accountability for the type of woman that he's dealing with. Just like y'all were saying earlier, you met me like this. So if you're a guy and you deal with an Instagram Tatiana and she's showing booty cheeks and all types of shit online, and then you get in a relationship and now you're feeling some type of way about her posting, what am I going to tell that guy if he comes back to me? I'm going to be like, shit, nigga, you met her like that. You have to take accountability for the woman that you chose. So
I guess it's really the trauma that's different. So the more lies or reality that I'm talking about is going from, oh yeah, I'm 26 to now finding out he's 30. Oh, I have one daughter, finding out that he has two daughters. So I guess the extremes I'm talking about are different. You're talking more so about how they present themselves and their lifestyle. I'm talking about the reality of who they actually are and telling actual lies.
Well, I mean, if the guy's lying about basic information, then that's
better
your fault too.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Because,
Okay,
I mean,
thank you.
It is.
Have you ever seen the guy's ID? I mean,
That's how I found out the truth.
Okay,
but why you don't see that from front?
You can
from
do.
jump.
You can
I don't. When I date someone, I don't ask them to get their ID to confirm their age because I never thought that anyone would lie about their age to me.
Well, all
So
you need
once
is
I
their
had that
first and last
experience,
name.
now I'm very like paranoid about like let me find out, let me investigate and make sure your age is really your age. And this is also off the back that I'm 23. Most of the time when I was meeting people, it's in school, so I didn't have to really double check their ages when we're in the same classes and things like that in the same crowds. So now fresh out of college, dating and stuff, when dudes say I'm 26, I'm believing he's 26. So now I know dudes lie about their age,
Well,
and now I check
You gotta
age.
have a better vetting process.
like I said, I mean,
That's
I think,
my fault that he lied about his age. I got it. Thank you so much. I feel way better about it.
No,
we
it
didn't
is-
say that.
It is
We did not
because
say that.
I mean,
Look,
if
I
you
went
know
to
the man-
you said
No, because no, she changed the words. No, you changing the words. It's your fault you believed it. It's your fault that you accepted it.
Like,
I want that to be
went through
clear.
Something similar, and I'm gonna be honest, it was my fault.
Thank you. It's
It was like, I
come on now. Let's have some
it's
accountability.
something, like, 'cause it was
2022.
crazy. Like in the back of my mind, something that whole time was like something ain't right. In the back of my mind, that whole time was like something ain't right. And it's like after that nagging feeling, and I like pushed on it, is when I came to that answer. It's like it's your own intuition. You got I don't know.
It's 2022.
But it was on me. Like I
Vetting
figured that
is
shit out.
very important.
Yes, you gotta vet.
I do my vetting.
Public
Yes.
I need
records
to
are
know.
public, just like an employer vets an employee before hiring them to their company. You got to do the same thing for relationships. So I encourage women to, if you are, even before you even have sex with this man, you need to know his first name. You need to know his last name. You need to know his age. But these are things that
Do
women
your
are overlooking.
Investigate. Hold on, one at a time. Hold on. Real quick. Gina, speak.
Let me just finish my shit
Go ahead.
off. I guarantee, not saying you guys, but I guarantee most women cannot name first name, last name the men that they've slept with. So whose fault is that? That's on you. If you don't know this man's first name and last name and you don't already slept with him, that's your L to hold. That's your accountability to take. And that's what you have to face as a woman and say, look, man, I rushed into that. I was swayed by my emotions. I was swayed by my lust. Whatever happened. I have to take accountability for that. But if a man is able to lie about his name, his age, and it's a 2022, you got public records, you can easily look them up.
Background checks.
You can do a background check for $5.99.
I found out through IG. Like
He said $5.99.
I
didn't know that. Hold on, one at a time. Go ahead.
I found his mom's Instagram. I found his younger brother's Instagram, and it was through finding his younger brother's Instagram.
How much time did that take you? Like, how do you have time to do that?
5 minutes.
I found
takes-
his, no, all you
Maybe
gotta do,
I just am not good at it.
I found his IG, and then he's following his mom.
Hold on,
he's
real
following
quick,
his
bro.
brother.
You just said how much time did that take you? Why does it matter if
Less
that's
than a
somebody?
day.
Real quick, why does it matter if that's someone you're going to invest your whole life with?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm naive and dumb, but literally, if I say, hi, my name is Mariah, I'm 23, I'm expecting you to say back your name and your age. So I'm going to take that on face value. Obviously, as time progresses, truths are going to come out. That's how I live my life. That's how I live.
No, hold on. Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you. That's what I'm about to get
Each
at.
his own.
asked-
That's not what I'm
Hold
going
on.
to do.
But you asked an
Time is
important
going to
question.
always tell.
You
Time
asked
is
an
going to always
important. You asked an important question. How much time does it take to do all that background research? And my question is, how much time did it take for you to sleep with him?
Thank you.
See, your
I'm
background.
not
Hold on.
sleeping.
Your
I'm not
background
sleeping.
information. Your background information should take longer than the time that it takes for you to sleep with that man. So your due diligence period. Your due diligence period should be longer than the time that it takes for him to get in your panties.
I do agree.
But that's
And
not
with
what
your
I'm
emotions.
Okay, so
You're
great
crazy.
that's great to each his own, whatever the case is, whatever. I spoke about him lying about his age and how many children he has. You're talking about how much time it took me to have sex with him. These are that doesn't make any sense. You can say that I was supposed to Google his first name. You can say that I was supposed to Google his first and last name, check out his age and all these things. Great, to each his own. But I'm still not understanding how me not knowing that his age was a lie is bringing up our sex interactions. How is that?
Because I was about to say, yeah, but you gotta make it faster.
I got an analogy.
That before you have sex,
they said if you were to do
get that stuff.
They said if you were to like follow them or look up some just basic information, like how I did. I just found his IG, then I found like who he's related to. It wasn't that hard, and then like I found out age just by that. It took me, I'm gonna be honest, like less than 45 minutes. It was not hard.
Right.
Versus, and then. They're saying that sleuthing would took a shorter time frame than the actions leading up to a sexual encounter.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
I'm not even thinking about the time.
I'm not either, but that's what they're saying.
Problem.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm not thinking about how long it's going to take me to find that information. I'm going to go ahead and find that information.
Talk to him. Okay.
I'm tunnel vision.
Because I'm 24 years old, so I already know that most of the men that I'm going to come across, they might have been married. They might have children. They might have baby mama drama. I need to know that because that's not something that I want to deal with.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bet.
And double check that.
Isn't that the purpose of the first date? Like when you
sometimes you don't get that out on the first date.
I'm the type of person I'm going to I'm going to get to know you in person. Like the things that I'm finding out about you when I say, "Oh, you have kids?" and he says, "Yeah, I have a daughter." Then time progresses and you're like, "Oh, actually, I have 2 daughters." I'm like, "Wait a damn minute! I asked you, so I didn't know I needed to do a lie detector to
We're
figure out."
We're not saying that. We just saying confirm.
Well, because this is the thing. If you tell me that you have 1 daughter and that's what you're telling me within the first, couple weeks of us getting to know each other, I'm not thinking, okay, let me go Google this and double check that you have.
But you should. But that's the point. Is hold on. Let's pause.
You had a daughter. I don't know if you have a son.
But
show me the
folks
picture of the
lie.
kids.
At the end of the day, folks lie.
Yes, you got to understand that. Let's just be honest here.
Verify.
Hold on, real quick.
Thank you. Can I say this one thing? Okay, what
he said? Trust but verify.
Yeah, what the proper thing would have been like. When I'm with somebody, the last question on our first date, if I plan on pursuing him, is let me get your socials, because I plan on sleuthing. Like I plan on like figuring out stuff for myself, so I know you're not a psycho. Like let me see like what you're posting on the internet, and then let me find out some more shit. Like let me see.
I already have the socials before the first date.
Talk to him.
Type shit. Like I'm gonna get that social after the first date.
One way regardless.
I don't
be honest with you, so you can go ahead and scope.
I agree. Hold on, one at a time.
I don't want to die.
No. You correct, but like at least after that first date, you're gonna have it secured. Is what I'm saying. Type shit.
I have his mama's social, his daddy's social.
God damn, yeah, she ain't playing.
I'm gonna get some social after that first date for sure.
Also, not even just the lying coming from him.
It's the safety
Some people,
part.
safety.
Yes, like I want to know I'm safe.
Yes.
Yeah, there are
creeps.
too many kidnappers out here. Too many young women going missing out here. You can't.
Okay, hold on.
Let
me get to the super chats. God damn, that was a goddamn segment right there. Amen to the super chat. He says, "Do you think women elsewhere are confused about roles in relationships? Do women out here also know but are playing dumb, or do they simply don't know?" What are your thoughts?
What does he mean elsewhere?
They don't
mean
care.
elsewhere, like we was talking about passport bros. Elsewhere, as in outside the country.
Education is a big thing. So it's like, what are they being taught? Education is a big thing. I don't know. It depends. Like when he says elsewhere, that could be anywhere.
I don't think they're confused. And this goes back to culture as well.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They simply don't know because it's hard. But
it could be
like,
ignorance.
I agree with a lot of things that you're saying. And so when it comes to like, actually having a role model in the family, like, okay, I had a role model of a marriage. I saw my grandmother and my grandfather.
Yeah.
So I know, okay, a woman needs to do this. A woman needs to do that. A man needs to do this. A man needs to do that.
Yeah.
A man needs to be
And
treated
talk to
like
the
this.
microphone.
A woman needs to be treated like this. But then when you turn around and you look at like other relationships, or even like when you get on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and it's just like, oh yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Like he said, kind of being argumentative and not taking accountability. It's like, do you really know your role in the relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
So that's the only thing I can really say.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can really say.
Okay. Carlton sends a super chat. He says, Stevens, who the fuck is that?
Seventh
Street.
Seven Streeter says, all the way to the right. Why y'all keep picking on this girl? All the way to the right in the little pants. You are on one tonight. You are very beautiful and articulate.
Thank you. I thought I
Where
was
you got your
stumbling my
cape
words.
on?
She's a comm major.
God
I really thought I was
damn.
fucking up my words. When you said that, I was like, damn, I must be fucking up my words.
All right, Alex sends a super chat. Thank you, Alex. He says things may not be impossible, but are highly improbable. He's talking about you.
I know he is.
All right, you are trying to avoid reality, Miss Green Jacket.
I knew he was, bro. Look.
Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that, Alex. God damn, we got a lot of comments. All right. All right, Diego says, Red Jacket. Okay. Are you a soccer goalie? The fuck? Because you're good at deflecting, accountability. Ooh. Any clapbacks? Any clapbacks you want to say to him?
No, I never was good at soccer. No, I'm not a goalie.
You didn't have to do that.
All right. And then starting from this side and going this way, do you have any questions, comments, concerns, and then final thoughts?
Okay, so I definitely think that this was a great conversation, productive conversation. I enjoyed all of the lovely young ladies' take on the current conversation. But what I will say, though, maybe just watch it back, see how you can improve and really take into account what some of these guys are saying, what we're saying here, because it could really help you in your future relationships. And I think that a lot of women either don't care or don't want to hear or aren't willing to hear out men. But on the other hand, y'all want us to, hear out and comply to everything that you guys are saying. So in order to have a more symbiotic conversation and dialogue about these very difficult relationship topics, then you have to listen to the male perspective. So I really think that a lot of modern women are lacking on listening to the male perspective and really hearing male-centric voices in podcasts speaking about what men value in relationships, because most of the time they're just getting that echo chamber of what women are saying and how to deal with modern relationships. But a lot of the women that they're looking up to and that they are emulating are single. Okay. Guys, you can find me, Reclaim Your Throne, Quarantine of the God, Black Gen Z Mindset. The Reclaim Your Throne D1 Elite Training Course is out now. So go get that. Link in my bio on Instagram.
I enjoyed the conversation. I kind of feel like when it comes to like relationships, again, like I have a lot of male friends.
Oh,
so
God.
Here you go.
It's not a bad thing.
I'm not gonna start nothing.
It doesn't mean it's a sausage fest, sir. Let her have her male friends. Women can have male friends.
Don't call it a sausage fest.
I'm not gonna say shit. Go ahead. I'm gonna let her rock.
Say, like, again, I like to hear a male's perspective because, I mean, at the end of the day, I do want to be a wife.
Yeah.
And so it's like, for you to be a wife and to want to have those traits, you got to hear from men. Okay. So it's like I enjoy the conversation when it comes to here, or just even with my personal friends.
Okay.
I do feel though the experience thing is not our fault.
No, that was
sometimes.
Men and women are different. I'm just putting this point blank period. So men prefer inexperience, women prefer experience. It's just that simple. Point blank. What's your Instagram?
Kaya.36. Y'all follow me.
Okay. All right. Same thing. Final thoughts.
I definitely enjoyed this conversation. I do understand to get a man, I have to listen to a man's perspective because I'm not a man, so I don't know what you like. Especially not at first glance. I do feel like that I can live in my femininity without being with a man. And that my femininity can increase if I attach myself to a high value man. I personally don't have a problem being traditional. I've grown up traditional. My parents have been married 30 years. And so I feel like I have the perfect example of what a high value woman and a high value wife looks like. So I have no problem taking on those roles or taking on those responsibilities. What else?
What's your Instagram?
Where can you find
my Instagram. Okay, so my Instagram is Makita Aisha. Let's put that in the chat because people don't know how to spell my name.
No, it's gonna be in the description. It's gonna be in the description.
Put that in the description because people don't know how to spell my name. But it's Makita Aisha with 2 underscores.
All right.
My intake is really just, I don't think that the types of relationships that I plan or my final relationship that I'm going to end up in, I don't have any intention for it to be traditional. And I think that's very apparent on my responses. That's pretty much that. My Instagram is mariahmurray.318. That's where you can find me. And I do have a YouTube channel if you do want to hear me talk more.
Okay. All right.
I think this was very interesting. This was very entertaining too, to say the least. Yeah, this is super good. My Instagram is Coca KCOCA. Yeah, .K_.
All right. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to follow anyone that was on the panel today, the link to their Instagram will be in the description below. Get Red Pill and Chill on Amazon. All you gotta do is type in Red Pill and Chill, and we are out. Peace.